it down. I'm so raw, I'm so real. If you haven't heard about me, I'm a big fucking deal.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? Happy belated birthday to Adrien the Problem Broner. His birthday was yesterday, Friday, July 28th, man, 2017. You know what I'm saying? That's not the date of his birth, but, you know, his birthday was yesterday, you know. But anyway, yeah, man, I'm pretty excited for this fight, man. I watched some of the, videos on the regular channels, man. Dante Box Nation, Fight Hype, Seconds Out and stuff like that. I got a chance to hear some of the stuff from the Garcia camp and the Adrien Broner camp. They really ramped it up with those press conferences and stuff like that, So, anyway, this fight's been on my radar and stuff like that. It's on everybody's radar, man. You got Adrien Broner, 4-time champion versus a 3-time champion, undefeated guy, Mikey Garcia. And then you got a lot of pride, man. Like you said, it's like I said, man, pride and prejudice and stuff like that. And I was really surprised with the Mikey Garcia tweet and stuff like that, man. I don't know, it was an Instagram or tweet, whatever like that, but he was asked about it, man, and, he referred to himself as Mickey Mouse and referred to Adrien Broner as a, Donkey Kong and stuff like that, and he was like, he gonna make it seem as if it wasn't, like, some kind of angst behind it, you know what I'm saying? Some kind of malice behind it and stuff like that. But and he was because he deflected a lot, you know what I'm saying? He was like, he didn't apologize for it or anything like that. He was just pretty much like, oh well, that's how you feel or whatever like that. I didn't, mean anything. He said I didn't mean anything about it, but he didn't ever say he was sorry for offending anybody. I don't think Adrien Broner ever said he was offended, but a lot of people took it, the way they took it, and he's like, oh, well, that's on you, that's not on me, and stuff like that, but ain't nobody no fool, you know what I'm saying, so he might be a man of color as far as, like, being brown or whatever like that, you know what I'm saying, talk about black and browns and stuff like that, and whatnot, or consider some to be a minority, depending on where he lives, he's here in the United States or whatever. But, a lot of people like to talk about cultural sensitivity and stuff like that, and whatnot, and being, politically correct, you know what I'm saying? So you won't have no static at the end of the day. So he referred to himself as Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is, loved and adored, you know what I'm saying? And this was so messed up, man. This was so messed up about this. It's like, Adrien Broner never referred to himself as being no monkey, you know what I'm saying? No King Kong, no Donkey Kong or nothing like that. It's not like Luis Ortiz who referred to himself as King Kong. So if someone's doing that to Luis Ortiz, you know what I'm saying? Like, Adonis Superman Stevenson had Superman and then had a picture of King Kong, you know what I'm saying? That would be different. You know what I'm saying? That'd be totally different. You get what I'm saying? So not to say Adonis Superman Stevenson would be facing Luis Ortiz, King Kong Ortiz, but if he was to do something like that, he's like, oh, I'm Superman, you're, King Kong, nobody can really say, even if it was, even if the dude was white, you know what I'm saying, it would, nobody really say anything about it, because Luis Ortiz refers to himself as, King Kong, the real King Kong, you know what I'm saying, Luis Ortiz, you know what I'm saying, so, but Adrien Broner never refers to himself as that, and then Adrien Broner sort of like shot the whole thing in the foot, because I'm listening at the press conferences. He calling Mikey Garcia the N-word the whole time. ninja this, ninja that, and whatnot. And so I'm like, okay. But yeah, man, Deontay, Dante's Box Nation wasn't really feeling that. And he's like, man, we from Cali, you know what I'm saying? So I already know what's up, and you know what's up too. Like, why you saying stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And they really didn't have an answer for him, man. They really didn't have an answer for him. So, yeah, man. Just based on that, man, I don't think I can root for Mikey Garcia no more. You know what I'm saying? I think he was a smart guy, and he only taking this fight to boost his profile. You know what I'm saying? He thinks this is easy pickings. You know, Adrien Broner's coming to the fight. He was coming to the fight like a month ago as like a 5-1 underdog. The odds have changed. It's 2-1 underdog, which is fair. You know. And that makes sense. 2-1, 2-1 underdog. A lot of people making arguments about their resumes and stuff like that. You gotta remember, Mikey Garcia had a long layoff because I really do feel as if he didn't want to be put in tough. Robert Garcia tried to make it seem as if he was on seconds out, man, with Radio Raheem, and Radio Raheem sort of like, hinted at that, your career is being carefully guided and stuff like that. You taking fights, that safe fights, you know what I'm saying? Taking safe fights. When we all saw what happened on the Orlando Salido fight, man. We all saw what happened, and I was rooting for Mikey, man. I was rooting for him, I was happy for him. And I was like, yo, man, you like, cause I knew Orlando Salido was coming on, man. He was coming on, and he almost got him out of there. Remember, the fight was stopped on cuts, you know what I'm saying, with Mikey Garcia getting his nose busted, and they had to go to the cards, and Orlando Salido had already been down, 2-3 times, but he was coming on, you know what I'm saying. Mikey Garcia wasn't really feeling that pressure, and Orlando Salido's hooks were really coming through, man. They were really coming through. And so in saying that, man, who does he fight next, man? Who does he fight next after that? Is Juan Manuel Lopez. I think at that time I already lost twice to Orlando Salido. And so, in my opinion, I think Juan Manuel was pretty much shot after that, you know what I'm saying? I think he was shot. Because a lot of these guys, they weight drain themselves and stuff like that. And I think with the weight draining and the fact that he got knocked out, was like both of the times when he fought Orlando Salido, he was pretty much shot when he fought Mikey, Mikey Garcia. And then you got Juan Sloppy, Carlos Bragos, and that's when that was his last fight, back in 2014, man, January 2014. They had some issues with that. They wanted Mikey Garcia to fight some other guys, but I forgot the names and stuff like that. It was almost 3 years ago now. Yeah, it is 3 years ago as of now. It is 3 years ago. It's a long time ago in the boxing world, man. There's a lot of matchups, a lot of belts changing hands and stuff like that. But, yeah, man, he wasn't, that was the reason for him sitting out, man. I think they were trying to force him to tougher fights and stuff like that, and he wasn't ready for that, man. He wasn't ready for that. And he recently had this win versus, who was it? Adrien Zaltacan or something like that. A couple months ago. So he's been active, man, and so have Adrien Broner. He's been active. Back, he fought back in February versus Adrian Granados, and he won by split decision. Some people thought he lost that fight, but you gotta think before that he fought Khabib Alikverdiev. Very well polished. That guy can fight, man. A lot of people talk about this Alikverdiev guy, but it's the reason why, we don't see much of him. He can fight, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, people can talk about, they can down him if they want to. He had a good win versus Juan Guzman. You know what I'm saying? He put an L on Juan Guzman's record. Well, when Juan Guzman was still seen as like the guy that the uncrowned champion. Let's just say that, Juan Guzman, they were fighting for a belt too, man. Him and Juan Guzman were fighting for a belt. And then beat this dude Mabuza and some other guys and stuff like that, man. So he was fighting some good guys, man. Could be Alec Verdiev, you know what I'm saying? He's a good fighter, man. He goes by the Hawk. So as far as when I'm seeing on box, right, so he goes by the Hawk. But yeah, man. So, and then you gotta think about he fought Maidana. What was it? Maidana go by El Chino or something like that. He fought Maidana. And who else did Adrien Broner fight, man? Sean Porter, you know what I'm saying? And those guys are pressure fighters. And those guys are some big guys, man. Those are 154 fighters. Sean Porter can easily be a middleweight. You know what I'm saying? He's a big dude, man. Sean Porter has to stay in the gym. He has to stay in the gym. He has to constantly work out. Sean Porter is not in the right, especially for the way he fights. He's not in his proper weight class. He has to fight down in weight and stuff like that, especially the way he fights, man. If he goes up to 154, he's going to get blasted. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely going to get blasted because he's fighting a lot of fighters that probably should be at 160, a la, Jamal Charlo, you know what I'm saying? A la Jamal Charlo. But yeah, man, that whole thing with the whole Donkey Kong thing, man, that really like turned me off. With like Mikey Garcia, I ain't gonna lie, man. You know what I'm saying? He gonna say, "Oh, we feel the way you want to feel," and I was like, "Yeah, that ain't how you come out with something, man. You come out with apologies, like, yeah, man, that was a bad dig or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah." And then he's like, like he tried to refer to like a video game and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? You don't do people like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you don't do people like that. I mean, and this why it's hypocritical, man. This is why it's hypocritical, man. I'm gonna end it on this, but check this out. You remember when Adrien Broner was like, "Man, I'm the can man. Anybody can get it. Mexicans, Dominicans, and stuff like that." Yo, man, he got in trouble for that, man, with the WBC, man. They wanted to hem him up for that, man. They got, because, the WBC is based out of Mexico. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to hem him up for that, So, anyway, man, looking at Mikey Garcia, man, I'm looking at him, and just listening to, like, some of Dwar's, listening to Dwar's video and stuff like that, and just looking at the footwork, Mikey Garcia, being that Orlando Salido, he's very unorthodox, not too great at like cutting off the ring, but at the time, he was younger, fresher, and stuff like that. He wasn't really cutting off the ring. He was really following, Mikey Garcia, you know what I'm saying? That's why you say with a back pedal pretty much all night, you know what I'm saying? But when Orlando Salido did have him up on the ropes, he was working him. And saying that with Adrien Granados, Adrien Granados, when he was on his foot and like this boxing and stuff like that, he looked good. He looked good, man. But I can't remember a fight where I seen Mikey Garcia like dance on his toes, So he looks to me to be like a puncher, boxer, you know what I'm saying? Very skilled, technically sound, and looking at this video and whatnot, it sort of reminds me that he doesn't have much footwork, and I think that's what everybody was thinking when they first placed the odds. It was based on Adrien Broner's last performance, how Adrien Granados was able to move around. But they're probably thinking, Mikey Garcia, he's not going to be moving around that much himself. And then not only that, in the weigh-in, what I noticed, and especially in the videos, is that Mikey Garcia, I don't think he's going down to 135, man. He say he's going down to 135. He might have to move up. You know, he might have to move up. Him and Adrien Broner are the same size. I mean, if Adrien Broner can't make 135, I doubt if Mikey Garcia can make 135. And I say that because in those videos, man, I noticed that, man, every time you see him at the training or something like that, this dude's always eating something, man. He's always, like, got something in his mouth, you know, chopping and chewing away and stuff like that. And then in the weigh-in, just like in this video here, man, that I'm looking at, man, he looks soft, man. He looks very soft. You know what I'm saying? Around the midsection. He doesn't look tight or anything like that. And he looks bloated. You know what I'm saying? He looks bloated. I don't know if he was doing a lot of drinking and stuff like that on his off time. But he looks very bloated. And he really doesn't. I know he's older. He's older than Adrien Broner, but he doesn't look youthful at all. Looks like a lot of wear and tear, you know, on his face and whatnot. I know he's a boxer and whatnot, but he hasn't really went through any wars or anything like that for him to look the way he looks. And he just looks bigger overall. So I don't think he's going back to 135. He says he is, but he's not. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just talk. You know what I'm saying? That's just talk. He ain't going back to that weight. If anything, he could probably move up in weight to 147 pounds if he wins against Adrien Broner. But yeah, man, I'm going with Adrien Broner, man. I'm going with Adrien Broner. I'm going with him. With the upset, man. I could see, you know, Mikey Garcia might knock him out, you know. He just might knock him out. But I think Adrien Broner's gonna pull through, man. And the saying that for Adrien Broner, man, is he probably get knocked out because at the weigh-in, man, he looked kind of drained. You know what I'm saying? He was 138 pounds. Maybe he did a little bit too much. You know, but hey, you know, these guys get to rehydrate and whatnot. Mikey Garcia barely made it. You know what I'm saying? He was just like a half pound under. Adrien Broner was like almost like a pound and a half under. And but these guys made it. But I think for Adrien, just came down to not eating to make sure he made it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the last thing he probably wanted was to not make weight. And with Mikey Garcia, he probably didn't care so much. You know what I'm saying? But you could tell that he probably struggled too, because right after the weigh-in, man, the dude was like already had food in his mouth, drinking water and stuff like that. That was very suspect. And Adrien Broner, he was talking about, he went straight to the interview and started talking and stuff like that, and addressing the crowd and everything like that. And Mikey Garcia was stuffing his face. So, yeah, man, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I'll catch y'all later. All right, bye.